And if you know where you're going, how you're going to do it, and what defines success at a team level, you can enjoy the journey as a team through building a great culture.
Hi everyone, Matt Brown here, VP of Growth at Blend, and today we had the opportunity to sit down with Lorena Pacheco, Chief People Officer at Caseware. Fantastic individual. We chatted about culture in the workplace, how to keep our employees engaged, and this is definitely one episode you're not going to want to miss. Check it out. I hope you enjoy it, and stay tuned for future videos.
Lorena, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, I'm super excited to be here. Thank you.
Been way too long.
I know.
You've worked for some pretty cool brands recently, specifically 500px, Ritual, and you're now with Caseware as their CPO. Why don't you take a moment to tell our audience a little bit about what's going on in your world?
Awesome. I just joined Caseware roughly 2 months ago and having the time of my life. Caseware is a 30-year-old software company that most folks don't know, so I'm really excited to build the brand and tell people the story and really elevate the profile from a people and culture perspective.
Lorena, it seems that now perhaps more than ever, organizations are really trying to drive their culture, and there's a lot of focus on this. I'd be curious, one, how do you define a strong workplace culture, and how does that differ from perhaps a culture that's not where you want it to be?
I think a big part of it is making sure that you do what you say. So in joining Caseware, as an example, day one, the first thing I started to do was get the leadership team together to align on vision, mission, and values. And if you know where you're going, how are you going to do it, and what defines success at a team level through the values, then you can accomplish anything as a business. And more importantly, you can enjoy the journey as a team through building a great culture.
Now, culture often is defined by missions and values, as you said, and we had one client who said those are only as good as the paper that they're written on. Yeah. So when it comes to actually executing on that, what does that look like?
I think that a big part of it really comes down to alignment with the leadership team. So when you think about the values, those tie sort of are broad strokes that tie to very specific behaviors, and those behaviors need to be reinforced at every level of the organization, but most importantly at the leadership team level. And you use those values to really define excellence on the team. And so we weave it into performance management, you weave it into how you onboard, you weave it into how you interview. And if the team, both the candidates and the employees, see that it is a part of every thread of the organization's things that they do, then it becomes way more than just words on a wall or on a PowerPoint slide. It becomes how you operate, and that's where the magic happens.
So when you're weaving this into the fabric, the DNA of the organization, do you have an endpoint, or is this just an evolving thing that takes on its own life?
I actually really love that question because I think there's two schools of thought in the people ops or HR world. And one is that you get the culture that you get. And the other is that culture is evolving. And it is one of the primary reasons I joined Caseware. It's a 30-year-old business, but I know that it's in a cultural transformation point in time. And so how you redefine values and how you rethink vision and mission to help service that is really critical. But yeah, I think every team member that joins any company has the opportunity to positively impact culture. And so it is a constant evolution, and that's what makes it, I think, really fun to do the job that I have.
I'm always curious about the fear of culture, because one thing we encounter are organizations that are cautious that they're going to hire to the culture, which subconsciously there's a bias that could come in to hire people that look, act, think the way you do. So how do you avoid that potential pitfall of hiring to the culture?
So I think it's important to differentiate between values and culture. So values are the foundational beliefs that an individual should have and must have to be to decide where to go. So as an example, if you don't believe in and innovation isn't important to you as a value, then perhaps a company that is pushing the boundaries on technology and innovating isn't the right place for you. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. It just means that it's not the right organization for you to do your best work. And so I think it's important for companies to be clear on what they value through their values. But culture are the rituals of how a company operates. And so everyone will bring, an individual should bring their whole self and their best self to work every day, or online in these days where it's virtual. But I would separate the values that everyone sort of has to agree on when they join and when they're a part of the team versus the rituals, and everyone can bring a new ritual to the organization or to their company. And you should hire for values fit, not for cultural alignment, because that, like, you want a difference of perspectives and experiences, and I think that's the culture piece.
Seeing that your organization has already defined a culture, do you find that within teams they have their own subculture, and how do those subcultures operate within the greater overall culture?
Knowing that you have these core values that are consistent across the organization, the culture is those rituals, and they will be unique within different teams. I think we all can appreciate that engineering operates different than sales, than perhaps marketing, than certainly my own team in People Ops. And I think because culture is constantly evolving, that you can learn from what unique elements one team might be doing that would be amazing to roll out throughout the entire organization. So I often think about those subcultures as being tiny little experiments to see what truly does resonate across the org, and then to implement that at a People Ops level, which is where we touch the whole company or all teams. We don't believe that we need to be the ones touching everything. Instead, we really empower managers, leaders within their individual business units to figure out what resonates with their teams. We give them the support, the guardrails, and the liberty to be creative, because it's about people, and not everyone is the same, and you should absolutely tailor it, again, so that people feel comfortable bringing their whole self and their best self to work every day.
So Lorena, on a personal note, if you can provide our audience with 2 truths and a lie, that'd be fantastic.
This is fun. I like this. I dream in Spanish. I train to be a professional salsa dancer. I have 3 crazy boys. Interesting.
And we'll leave our audience to determine which one of those is the truth and which one is the lie. So make sure you comment below. Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much for checking out this video. I certainly hope you got some value from Lorena's insights around culture, and do look forward to more content coming from the team here at Blend.